I think we've all known someone that's fallen in love with a girl that works in a bar, and you know, everyone's got that. She's different, bro. Everyone's had someone say that to them at some point.
So, welcome to Tea Time with Mitro. I don't even know where to begin this video, but your boy caught feelings for a freelancer, somewhat. So, around 3 weeks ago, I made a video on YouTube. I'm 27 and I have never had a girlfriend. Well, I've had like puppy love, you know, middle school relationships and shit like that, but nothing serious after turning 18. I've never been in a serious committed relationship. In that video, I talked about paying women, specifically escorts, for their services. Alright, so I'm back in Bangkok from Pattaya, so I'm going to be picking up where I left off with the recording of the video. Now in Thailand, and while I didn't come here for sex, I'm going to be completely 100% transparent with you guys. I've seen one escort in Bangkok, and then I had one happy ending massage in Pattaya. And that brings us on to this story time of me somewhat catching feelings for an escort in Pattaya out of all places. So yeah, so where do I begin? So I wanted to come to Thailand to clear my head because I was going through a bit of a bout of depression, and I was in a really bad place due to my Accutane medication and then possibly the withdrawal effects of quitting alcohol and weed. So I just wanted to come back to Thailand to have a change of scenery and get myself into a different headspace. And I didn't come here for the purpose of sex or sleeping with escorts or freelancers, etc. But this time around for this trip, I wanted to explore different regions and places of Thailand that I haven't been. Next week I'm going to Phuket, and I'm planning on traveling the islands of Koh Samui and Koh Phangan. But before that, I spent about a week in Bangkok, and then I had the idea of going to Pattaya, because you hear about, oh, Pattaya is the sin city of the West and all this jazz that's crazy out there. So I just wanted to experience what it was like, see what Pattaya was like, because I've never been there, and I was just curious. And as someone who doesn't drink, who doesn't smoke, who doesn't party, I asked myself, is it really worthwhile going to Pattaya? Like, what am I going to gain from Pattaya? But there's another YouTuber that I watch, an African-American YouTuber that goes by the World of Oni, and through his videos he says that, or he's mentioned that if you have an intuition or you have this gut feeling that this place is calling you, you should just follow it, because then the universe will reveal the reason. And in Pattaya during the daytime, I was just exploring. I was there for about 3 nights, so every day I would just explore, and then I would get back to the hotel room and make vlogs. In the evening time, I didn't go out at all. I visited Walking Street during the day, but I never went out to the bars or even witnessed the nightlife at all, because I was just so consumed with editing vlogs in the evening time. So I think this was about my second night there. And then I had just filmed that day, explored and made a vlog. I had got back to the hotel room, I had edited the vlog, and while I was waiting for the vlog to upload to YouTube, I decided to go on ThaiFriendly, which is a like dating site here in Thailand, and I decided to find an escort. So I found an escort, a beautiful looking Thai girl, probably one of the most beautiful Thai girls that I've been with personally. And I decided to hire her for a short time. She came to my hotel room, and immediately when she came to my hotel room, she just started like talking about life, opening up about stories about her past relationship, and it just caught me off guard. Because generally when I have paid for escorts, the talking has been to a minimal. Even if there's physical attraction, sometimes there's been language barriers, like in Spain where it first started when I was 25, and now I'm 27 now, so I've been seeing like escorts for 2 years. Like I said, I'm being completely transparent. There was always the language barriers, because I don't speak much Spanish personally, so it was always more of just a relationship. So I pay, we do our thing, and then I leave, right? But she came to my hotel room, she started opening up about her stories about her past, about her life, and then I was just listening. We were just talking for a few hours, to be honest. And this was just, like I said, it caught me off guard because she was opening up about her life and herself. Then I started talking about myself and opening up too, and it was just, it was really good. We got really deep. I viewed it, I viewed it as somewhat of a therapy session. So long story short, we were talking for a few hours. I think we were talking about like an hour first, and then she was like, should we begin? And then, you know, I'm just gonna be completely transparent. We begin, I started like fondling her breasts, kissing them, and yeah. God damn. My mother's gonna watch this video, but yeah, we started getting intimate, and then I asked her, can I kiss her? And then she says, you can try, right? So then I go to kiss her, but then she just like gives no, it was nothing. She was just like keep not kissing me back. I back and asked her, you don't want to kiss me? And then she said that she doesn't really like kissing people if there's no like if she doesn't have feelings for them, which I completely understand, because I've been with other escorts that don't even allow kissing, right? Because that's a pretty intimate act. So then she proceeds to give me a head, and then a few seconds later I'm just like, I don't think I can do this, because then in my mind I'm hit with a sudden realization of like, what am I doing? I just start overthinking, right? I just start overthinking. Is she not physically attracted to me? Am I not good looking enough? Or here I am trying to pay for intimacy and fill this void that I have, and we're not really being intimate. I didn't want this to be just another. I didn't want to just like have like meaningless sex, right? So then I told her, I don't think I can do this, right? And then I think we just kept on talking for the next 2 hours. We were both just sat there naked in the bed, me not even fondling her at this point or anything, like no physical interaction, but just sitting next to each other and just getting deep about life. And like I said, for me it was like a therapy session, because I view this girl as sent to me by the universe as a wake-up call that this isn't what I should be doing. I said that I had met, now on my trip to Thailand. Before I went to Pattaya, I was staying in Bangkok for 1 week. During that week I had one escort as well. The sex was actually decent, and then I just felt empty afterwards. The sex was decent, but I just felt empty afterwards. And there was a lot of physical attraction with this girl in Bangkok between both of us, but it always leaves me with the void of like, dude, what am I doing with my life? Like, I want a relationship, and I don't want to just have meaningless sex, but I am human, I am not perfect, and I have my vices. I guess escorts now being the last one that I need to kick, right? In this habit. So I was just horny, and I acted upon that horniness, same as in Pattaya, but the time in Bangkok, it just left me feeling empty and void afterwards, and I had a lot of trouble sleeping that night. And then I was just wondering, well, what the fuck am I doing with my life? So already, like, my conscience doesn't really permit me paying for sex. I'm always gonna like try and talk myself into it, like, oh bro, it's kind of a common practice, or oh bro, talk myself into it. But yeah. But before I get off track, so then we just ended up talking for around 2 hours, and like I said, for me it was just really refreshing actually to have someone just be so open and honest to me about their life, and then for me to be able to just talk about really whatever I wanted, me even opening up about my life and talking to her like about loneliness, about like we just got deep. Like the way I see it, she was like a therapist for me. So then a few hours go by. I think it was around like 3 hours had passed at this point, and it was more time than I had originally paid her for. Then at some point I was like, it's getting kind of late because I think it was like 1 or 2 a.m. And I said that you can go if you have to, right? Like, I don't want to have sex. And then she was like, are you sure? And then I was like, yeah. And then so she went and she showered, and then she came back outside, and then back into the room. And then she even asked again, are you sure? And then I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. And then she was trying to like, she was trying to comfort me. It's like, we're two consenting adults here. There's nothing wrong with doing this, right? But through her, and through her opening up to me, it just like humanized her way more than what I'm used to. I'm used to just like these transactions with minimal talking, so it's just sex, right? The fact that we opened up and we talked deep. First of all, it kind of killed the sexual mood for probably both of us. It just caught me off guard that when we talked for so long and for so many hours, and we got so deep with the talking, that we shared intimate details about each other's lives. Firstly, it caught me off guard. Secondly, it kind of killed the mood. And then thirdly, it just humanized her way too much in my eyes to like be able to go through with this act, because some of the stories she told, I just started feeling like, man, what am I doing? I felt like I was using her, you know, for my own sexual pleasure and my own sexual gratification. So that's why I personally just couldn't go through with it. And she even said while we were talking, like, this is the first time that I've been naked in front of a man and they haven't wanted sex. Because like I said, we were after I tried kissing her and that didn't work out, and then I couldn't go through with it. So then we just ended up talking for 2 hours, and like I said, I wasn't touching her, grabbing her, feeling her, or even looking at her body, even though she was naked in front of me. And this girl was gorgeous. Like, she goes to the gym, she has fitness in the gym, which is one of my favorite things to do in common with me. So I was really attracted to her physically, but man, I kind of like started caring way too much about her. And then in my mind, I didn't want to say this directly to her, right? But in my mind I was thinking like, you're way too beautiful, and you're way too good for this kind of lifestyle, for you to sell yourself or sell your body for other people's pleasure. And I'm not gonna go and say that sex work is bad and yada yada yada, because some girls might like it, some people might like that line of work, or maybe it suits them. She seemed to maybe be in a case where it kind of suits her, because she likes to party and go out, but that is not my lifestyle at all. And before she left as well, she said this is the first time that, or I think I mentioned this, but she said that this is the first time that I've been naked and in front of a guy and they haven't wanted sex, because usually when she's naked in front of the guys, all the guys are like, you know, jumping onto her, or like, you know, pouncing. The horniness builds up, and I just said that I just have way too much of a conscience for that. So where I'm trying to go with the story is that the reason why I went to Pattaya was to meet this girl. That was the sole reason, and that was probably the best thing that's happened to me in this trip, because I've just had this massive perspective shift. I already knew, like, when I made that video, I'm 27 and I've never had a girlfriend, I already knew this was kind of wrong, reflecting on the loneliness, and that, at least for me paying for sex, it's not in my character personally. I mean, I can't sit on my high horse because I have done it, right? So I don't want to be that hypocritical, but I've always been iffy and always had my doubts about it. I've never been 100% like, okay, I'm just having fun. And I'm the kind of guy who gets really, I'm like a hopeless romantic. I'm a kind of guy who falls for women really easily. And in the past, when I have dated as well, I've always, I always fall for the girl a little bit too fast. And then I start envisioning like our future together and yada, yada, yada. So I don't think personally for me, I'm someone who is comfortable with paying for sex any longer. And then the next day we continued like texting online, and before she left, she had also said that if I ever want to grab a coffee or dinner with her, that I could do that free of charge. I could go grab coffee with her, grab dinner with her, and see if we click more, and then if we want to try having sex again at some point, we can. Which I kind of wanted to, and that brings me to the point which kind of scares me, because here I am now kind of catching feelings for this freelancer, and I know in my mind, and the rational side of me is like, yo, that is a slippery slope. You don't want to get into a long-term relationship, in my opinion, with someone who works in the entertainment industry, whether they're working in the bar, whether they're working as a freelancer. You don't want to fall in love with a girl like that. Then we got to texting, and then we had been texting a little bit throughout the day. And then I told her that I'm going to leave Pattaya tomorrow, and I just wanted to express my gratitude for meeting her. And it was truly a pleasure meeting her, because through meeting her and through her opening up to me, just like humanized the whole experience, which is going to sound like I sound like such a fucking prick when I say this out loud, but in the past, when I've gotten like happy endings, or when I've gotten I've seen escorts and things like that, I don't think that much about them as a person, right? I'm a super nice guy. I don't have any weird like fetishes or perversions, so I've always been super nice. I'm just to like preference this. When I was in Spain once, I saw an man, I'm really just putting spilling my tea on the table here. But when I was in Spain, I saw an escort, and then I wanted to tip her half what I originally paid her for her time, and then she declined the tip. She said no, like I tried giving it to her multiple times, and she said no. She pushed the money back in my hand, like half of what I paid her, right? Which is insane. And she said, you're such a nice guy, and you were so calm and relaxed. And that just like that had me thinking back then, like, if I'm such a nice guy and calm and relaxed, and she refused the tip, why would she, like, what kind of weirdos or what kind of creeps has she seen or been with in the past? Because I imagine not all clients are great to be with, right? There's some really bad guys out there. So yeah, we got to talking. I kept on talking with this girl, and I just wanted to thank her and say that she really has changed my mind on paying for sex, and this is something that I'm not truly, now I can say I'm not gonna pay for sex again. In my last video, when I said I'm 27 and never had a girlfriend, I kind of foreshadowed this by saying that I probably will pay for sex at some point again. Because I'm a man, I get lonely, and I have desires and I have needs. But paying for sex is never going to fill this void of emptiness and loneliness that I have inside me that can only be found through like an actual intimate connection, actual love. Like, I can be horny and be lustful and pay for it. I can even have good sex and have a great time. But at the end of the day, when she leaves and I'm just, when she leaves or I leave, and at the end of the evening when I'm just sleeping in my bed alone, was that experience really worth it? And was it truly authentic? Because then I'm just having these transactional based relationships, and I lost my virginity to an escort. So all I've known when it comes to really intimacy is transactions. And she just made me realize that, holy shit, I'm tearing up. But she just made me realize that this is not the kind of life that I want to live anymore. And when I was in Pattaya, you know, you see so many bars, you see so many beer bars, and when I was walking around during the day, you see old men at these beer bars with these young Thai women dressed in their miniskirts drinking beers. And I'm not any person to tell you how to live your life, or it's not like my place to judge either, because I personally have never gone to these beer bars, but because I don't drink. But it kind of disgusts me to see all these old men with young Thai girls, and then it also scares me because when I'm looking at that, I think to myself, I don't want to be like them when I'm their age. I don't want to be an old man sitting by myself or with other old men at these beer bars and talking to these young Thai women, because nothing about that just seems genuine to me, in my opinion. When I'm that age, I want to have a wife that I love. I want to have a family. I want to have kids. I want other things that are actually fulfilling and meaningful in life, and not this pursuit of like temporary self-gratification. So I thanked her a lot, and then she called me at one point at like 6 p.m. asked me if I would like to try again, but this time I wouldn't have to pay her. That since I was such a nice guy, and since I really expressed my gratitude for meeting her, and it was a gift from the universe meeting her because of that perspective shift she gave me. She asked if I wanted to try having sex with her again, and this time that I wouldn't have to pay, to see if there's mutual feelings for each other and etc. Right? But I declined. I said no, thank you. That I want to be celibate until I meet my future girlfriend. And that is the path that I have now chosen. I'm not going to pay for sex anymore. I'm not going to ever get a happy ending massage. I'm not going to get a happy ending at a massage parlor anymore. I'm done living this fucking kind of lifestyle, because while the like temporary gratification might feel good in the present moment of when I'm doing that act, it always leaves me feeling it always just leads to more emptiness and a feeling of shame for myself. So I don't have the conscience to pay for women anymore, and I'm 27 years old. I would like to think like I'm somewhat of a relatively attractive guy. I have a lot going for me, so I don't know why I don't try and dating. Well, I don't know why I don't try putting myself out there and dating regular girls. Is it because I'm afraid of rejection? Is it because I have still so many insecurities? Is it because I'm still trying to like work through my own problems as well and focus on myself? I don't really know, but what I do know is that everything happens for a reason. And my reason for going to Pattaya was not to party or drink, which I didn't even do. To be honest, I wasn't even tempted. That's why I didn't go out at any night, because I don't have any desire to drink anymore. I don't have any desire to smoke weed anymore. And the drinking has been something that I can give up on. Like, I had 500 days of sobriety before I was in Siem Reap for Songkran, and that's when I kind of slipped up, and then I spiraled for a few months, right? But I've given up alcohol on various occasions for quite extended periods of time. It's the weed that I've always struggled with, because I do like weed. I love the smell of weed. But this time around, something is just so different. I've walked past so many cannabis shops, and I haven't been tempted. I haven't even been curious about what's their selection like, or the prices, or anything, or what kind of strains they have. The last time I was in Bangkok, I was always curious, and then eventually I slipped up and I started smoking. Now I'm just in a place of my life where I just want to become the best version of myself one day at a time. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. The universe brought her into my life so that I could have this realization, and I could have this like profound experience, which actually has shifted my perception, because she just humanized herself to me, and that caught me completely off guard, and came to the realization of like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I can't keep on paying women for sex and try and justify it to myself by saying, oh, this is just bro, this is just this is okay, this is normal, because it's not. For me, it's not. Like I said, I'm not here to demonize anyone's way of life or what they do, but I've seen like Japanese businessmen coming out of soapy massage parlors in groups, and then they have wedding rings on their fingers. I don't want to be that motherfucker that's cheating on their wife, and I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, it's just sex, bro. I don't like her, but I like, he still has a wife and kids at home. Like, I don't want to be a fucking asshole. I don't want to be a piece of shit. So, that being said, this girl made me realize that I need to be better, and I need to hold myself to a higher standard. And I've been reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius lately, and everything's just coming together. I think this is the last really like this is the last vice that I needed to kick. I would like to say that I'm never going to masturbate. I'm not going to watch porn anymore. That shit's fucking detrimental to the mental health. And I wonder if my porn consumption also kind of in part drove me to seek out escorts in the first place, which I think porn had a pretty large role to play in that, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah. The reason why I denied the free sex from her for the next night was as well because part of me thinks that, like, man, we could get along and we could, like, actually develop feelings for each other, but then the rational part of my mind is just like, man, I can't fall in love with a freelancer girl, or I don't want to catch feelings for a girl like her, no offense, but because what happens after this night and I go back to Bangkok, what happens when I leave Thailand? She's gonna go and be with other men, and would that be something that I'm okay with? I don't want to have hookups. I don't want to have a good time anymore. What I truly want out of life, and the next step after I work on myself a little bit more and just get my shit together and, like, really, like, cement the sobriety and get out of this little mental funk that I've been in, is to start dating and putting myself out there and find my future girlfriend. But I'm not going to download dating apps. I fucking hate Tinder, like Bumble, Hinge and all that shit. I'm just going to start putting myself out there more in the world and joining groups and, like, activities like yoga, and maybe do some meditation retreats and do, like, these group activities that are centered around hobbies and meet meet friends. First of all, it doesn't even have to be women, but meet guys and girls, and hopefully I will find my future girlfriend this way, because instead of dating some random people that are just based off of appearances and swipes, I want to form a genuine friendship first with them. And then if we are both friends and we both like each other, then maybe we can explore the realm of dating and explore the possibilities of love and whatever. But I'm not going to seek out a relationship any longer, and I'm not going to seek out any pleasure from these financial transactions that I've been doing in these past 2 years. So yeah, this is the story time, and that's also partly why I didn't extend my stay in Pattaya, because I was thinking about this girl after I met her the next day, like my final day in Pattaya. I was thinking about her the entire day, man. And like I said, I don't want to catch feelings for someone who's freelancing. It's not beneficial for either of us, to be honest, because what if then I catch feelings for her, she catches feelings for me, then I leave, like, she's gonna go see other guys. Like, there's no two ifs about it. So yeah, it's just for the best. But I met her for a reason, and yeah, that was the reason why I went to Pattaya. The universe brought her into my life. Out of all the freelancer girls I could have gotten from ThaiFriendly, it was her, the girl who ended up being my therapist for like a few hours, which was really good, because like I said, we didn't end up having sex, and she was really surprised by that. And I think that's why the next day she was, like, more intrigued by me, because I would like to think that I'm a rare occurrence, but I know there aren't other nice guys out there. But I would say, like, to all the nice guys, it's not worth paying for it. It really isn't. I've had some pleasurable experiences. I've had some really decent times, but at the end of the day, you're just feeling left lonely and empty, and yeah, that connection is just no longer there when they're not there anymore. You don't have someone to, like, talk to or be there for you when you're at your most vulnerable, and I think that's why yeah. That's really it for this video. To end this video, I'd just like to say sorry to my mother, because I know she watches all my videos. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. This was just another stepping stone in the path that's to follow of me becoming the best version of myself and a man worthy of my future wife. And I'm gonna have all these videos as well, so the future is gonna be real interesting when I when I do end up dating, because, before I end up actually dating someone, I guess like I said, I want to be friends first. So before I really want to like date someone or them catch feelings for me or some shit, I feel like I need to disclose this part of my life. And then if they accept me for who I am and my past transgressions, then I'll know I'll have found the right one. And yeah, on that note, let's on a brighter note, I'm now 30. It's tomorrow or later on today or tomorrow will be 31 days of sobriety from alcohol and weed, and in November I will be 2 months nicotine and tobacco free. So the sobriety is going huzzah, it's going pretty well. And like I said, I'm done paying for sex, so this is like really the last vice that I had to kick out of my life. Next, I think I need to work a little bit on my social media consumption, specifically YouTube videos. I kind of watch a little bit too much content. I should invest my time in reading more books and spend my time just forging my mind to be better. So on that note, remember to love yourselves, and I hope someone found value or entertainment from this video, whatever the case. But your boy Mitra out. Peace.